Here we are in the bright British autumn weather, where the air is crisp, out for a mindful walk that I thought I'd bring you along on. Though it's interesting for me to even use the term mindful these days. This is something that I talk about with students a lot. Forgive me if this is maybe a little bit much to wrap your head around if you're coming across this on the feed. But what we talk about as mindfulness turns out to be our default mode. What I mean by that is, to begin with, we're all wrapped up in the world. We're giving importance to things. We're distracted by things. We're bothered by things. We're alarmed by things. We feel like we have to do something to change our circumstances over and over and over again. And this goes on all day, every day, from the moment we wake to the moment we sleep. And then we take up a mindfulness practice and we feel like we're doing something to stop all of that noise. Feel like we're doing something to create solitude and quiet in the mind. But if you continue your practice, you'll discover that actually it all flips, and that quietude, that solitude of mind is your default mode, and that it was all the noise of the world, all the huffing and puffing to try to get and have and be stuff, to earn money, to earn status, to arrange things to your liking. You find that was what was extra. In a sense, that is the practice. That's what requires something to be done. Where a genuine mindfulness practice is only ever about relaxing. Relaxing into the truth of your being, which is nothing other than awareness. And so we might talk about practicing mindfulness, we might talk about mindful walking or walking meditation as a practice. But these days for me, it's just a walk. But it's a walk that's absent of all of that mental chatter that I might have brought out on a walk with me years ago. So I'm sharing this with you, first of all, because it's just what I'm thinking about as I introduce this video. Second of all, because this gives you an accurate picture of where you're headed. We're not trying to construct something with mindfulness. We're not trying to change ourselves into something that we weren't before. We're not trying to make ourselves better. We're simply relaxing out of all the ways in which we troubled ourselves. This is a great misunderstanding whenever mindfulness or meditation is spoken about. It's so easy for us, given our conditioning, to take mindfulness or meditation to be another self-improvement project. But if you've taken a look at any Buddhist literature, you may well have come across the term no self. No self, or in the Pali, anatta. Meaning that there is no permanent entity here. There is no separate someone who's moving through the world disconnected from it, encountering things that it must protect itself from, or that it must acquire, that it must like or dislike. Rather, when we relax, we see that all boundaries are created by the thinking mind. And that if we simply stop thinking those boundaries into existence, they disappear. They disappear. All that remains is non-dual awareness. The seeing of things precisely as they are. And so as I'm out here walking, there is the experience of a body, there is the experience of a personality talking. It's not that in this no self we somehow abandon our ability to have a conversation, to crack a joke, to relate to others. There is always the appearance of this relative world, but it is only an appearance. It is not what it seems to be to the thinking mind that must label and judge and describe all the time, that has been trained to label and judge and describe all the time. What we're learning to do in a genuine mindfulness practice is simply to relax out of that, to rest finally from that ceaseless tendency to judge and label, describe, interpret. And to do so is to be free from all of those descriptions, labels, judgments, interpretations. Now, why is this useful? Well, if I'm out here and I'm thinking, it's cold today, I'm cold, I wish I'd worn another layer, my walk is less enjoyable. I remember spending entire trips out thinking, I wish I'd worn another layer. Which is, it's in the way of my enjoyment of the moment as it is. Now this seems pretty simple and unimportant. This doesn't seem like it would have much of an impact on anything. But in enjoying the walk that we're on, we're rejuvenated by it, which is the whole fucking point. Is to come out and enjoy the fresh air, move the body, feel rejuvenated. Now I'm taking some rest right now, but were I heading back to work, then I would be more productive having not wasted my entire walk having been thinking about how I should have worn another layer. And that way of being that I take back to my desk with me, I'm sure you can appreciate, will literally translate into dollars. So I'm interested in the moment at helping people to bridge the gap between what's good about mindfulness and earning dollars, something as tangible as earning dollars. Everyone's concerned with earning more dollars. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm really trying to do a lot to do away with these old ideas that mindfulness should somehow be separate from business or from money. It's nonsense. This is a dualistic notion that labels money as something bad. The earning of more money is absolutely not all that is available to you practicing mindfulness. There are far more dimensions to it than that. But this is a genuine benefit of practicing mindfulness. You will earn more money as a dedicated mindfulness practitioner, unless of course you decide that you want to go off to the monastery and do that whole thing. But as a regular person in the regular world, coming out on a walk absent of all of the thinking mind's typical activities will rejuvenate you and will get you back to your desk in a better frame of mind for continuing your work. And of course we can all join the dots from there to figure out how that's going to better our worldly position. But of course, one important dot to put in between those two, here I am on my mindful walk and that's going to earn me more money. The only reason to earn more money, the only reasonable way to be earning more money in 2023 is by serving people. This is really timeless. However, what we're seeing in business now is that the market is so sophisticated. Less and less people are being conned. Certainly in the realm that I operate, the realm in which you're digesting this video, also known as the creator economy, is all win-win. The only reason that anyone makes money in 2023 in the creator economy, at least in the corner of it that I inhabit, is by serving people, is by making people's lives better. So should you decide to go on a walk today, it's okay if it still looks like a practice to you to include some mindfulness. Perfectly fine. You can look up guided walking meditations anywhere. Maybe I'll publish a couple. But understand that the benefit of doing so is incredibly broad. You improve your own well-being, and then you return to your worldly work in a better position to improve other people's well-being. However it is you do that. I don't know, maybe you're an accountant, maybe you're doing one of those kind of traditional jobs that perhaps doesn't look so much like it would benefit someone. I tell you, my accountant benefits me greatly. I need to get back on those spreadsheets. So, I hope this has encouraged you to enjoy a mindful walk, whether that looks like a practice for you or whether you're more advanced in your practice like me and you've seen that it's not a practice at all, that it's just about not running some of those old mental scripts. Indeed, how about not running all of those mental scripts? How about not running any of them and just being out here with everything just as it is, relaxed, easeful, blissful, content. I encourage you to join me.